The impact of war on children is a widely known fact. Children are the most vulnerable to the physical and psychological effects of war. They often become victims of physical and emotional abuse, lose their families, become homeless, and are forced to live in refugee camps. Even those who survive the war often suffer from a lifelong psychological trauma. In this video, we will explore 5 war anime series and films that depicts the struggles that children have to go through during times of conflict. Starting off our list with the anime Yorubungan. Brought up in a conflict-ridden environment, child soldier Jonathan Marr hates weapons and those who deal them. But when Coco, an international arm dealer, takes on Jonah as one of her bodyguards, he has little choice but to take up arms. Along with Coco's other bodyguards, composed mostly of former special ops soldiers, Jonah is now tasked with protecting Coco and her overly idealistic goal of world peace from the countless dangers that comes from her line of work. Yorubungan follows Coco and Jonah and the rest of the crew as they travel the world selling weapons under International Shipping Company (HCLI). As Coco's work is illegal under international law, she is forced to constantly sidestep both local and international authorities while doing business with armies, private militaries and militias. With the CIA always hot on her tail and assassins around every corner, Jonah and the crew must guard Coco and her dream of world peace with their lives or die trying. The next anime is The Diary of Anne Frank. The Diary of Anne Frank is an anime adaptation of the famous book of the same name. The book was written by Anne Frank, a young girl who documented her life in hiding during the German occupation of Netherlands. The anime adaptation does an excellent job of capturing the emotions and feelings of Anne Frank. It shows how she copes with stress and anxiety of living in hiding and how she tries to find hope in the dark and difficult situations. The series is a powerful reminder of the human cost of war and how it affects the most vulnerable members of the society. On the third number, the anime is Now and Then, Here and There. Shu Matsutani lives his ordinary life in peace. He has friends, a crush, and a passion for kendo. Dejected after losing to his kendo rival, Shu climbs a smokestack to watch the sunset, where he finds Lala Ru, a quiet blue-haired girl wearing a strange pendant. Shu attempts to befriend her despite her uninterested, bland responses. However, his hopes are crushed when a woman, accompanied by 2 serpentine machines, appears out of thin air with one goal in mind: capture Lala Ru. Shu, bull-headed as he is, tries to save new friends from her kidnappers and is transported to a desert world, unlike anything he has ever seen before. Yet despite the circumstances, Shu only thinks of saving Lala Ru until he is thoroughly beaten up by some soldiers. As he soon finds out, Lala Ru can manipulate water and her pendant is the source from which she is able to bring forth the liquid, a rare commodity in his new environment. But now the pendant is lost and Shu is the prime suspect. This anime is a haunting story of a dystopian world and of Shu, who has to endure torture and the horrors of war in order to save a lonely girl he found sitting at the top of a smokestack. On the second number, the anime is Barefoot Gen. In 1945, World War II is at its peak. As Japanese cities are firebombed and the nation is cornered by the US forces, Japan is collapsing under the immense pressure. Gen Nakaoka, a bold, free-spirited young boy, lives in Hiroshima, struggling with wartime scarcity and barely making end meet. Gen and his family are hopeful that the conflict will soon end with Japan's immediate defeat and their city unscratched. However, unbeknownst to them, their fate is already sealed with the impending dropping of Little Boy, the US atomic bomb set to cause the devastating effect that will change Japanese society forever. The film does an excellent job of portraying the physical and psychological effects of war on children. It shows how Gen and his family struggles to survive in a world that has been destroyed by war. The film is a powerful reminder of devastating impact of war on innocent civilians, especially children. And finally, on the first number, the anime is Grave of the Fireflies. As World War II reaches its conclusion in 1945, Japan faces widespread destruction in the form of American bombing, devastating city after city. Hotaru no Haka, also known as Grave of the Fireflies, is the story of Seita and his sister Setsuko, 2 Japanese children whose lives are ravaged by the brutal war. They have lost their mother, their father, their home, and the prospect of a bright future, all tragic consequences of the war. Seita and Setsuko have no choice but to drift across the countryside. beset by the starvation and diseases. Met with the apathy of adults along the way, they find that desperate circumstances can even turn the kindest of people cruel. Yet their youthful hope shines brightly in the face of unrelenting hardship, preventing the siblings from swiftly succumbing to an inevitable fate. This movie shows how Seita and Setsuko struggles to survive in the world that has been destroyed by war and greed of people. Definitely one of the greatest movie by Studio Ghibli that hits deeper than the other ones. And that's it for today's video guys. The 5 anime series and films discussed in this video shows the struggle that children go through during the midst of a battle and the impact of war that can have on their lives. By watching these anime, we can gain a better understanding of the challenges that children face during the time of conflict. Work toward creating a peaceful world where children can grow up without fear. Let me know your thoughts about this video and let me know which is your favorite movie or anime series from this list in the comment section down below. And that's it for today's video guys. Definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video. And I will see you in the next one. Sayonara.